What's happening?
What's
Ladies and
up?
gentlemen, it's my dude, Josh Davis.
What's up? What's happening?
Now introducing the fabulous Rivino
Yo, shout
Oh,
out to Adam, man. He had the funniest fucking Don Q shit I've seen the whole way through, yo. Uh,
Oh,
and
my lady, yeah.
right after you, bro. That shit was funny as hell, man.
That was spot on. Like, holy cow. And it looked like she wasn't wearing pants, which was even better. Like, just like that whole thing was super dope.
she
That's
embraced
called-
the character,
That's
She
called
did.
commitment
She got
to the
in.
bit. I hope you beat her for that.
right?
You know?
Honey, that was good.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, I was coaching her the whole time. She's like, you really want me to do a parody of you? What? And I was like feeding her lines, and it was good. I'm not gonna take all the credit, but I was definitely part of the inspiration.
That's awesome.
Oh boy, what is going on? What's up with the Panthers hat, homie? This is
Hey, you know me, man. You look. It's the real Panthers, not them bitches from Carolina, man.
hey, Adam O'Donnell's a Panther fan. Be careful with that, homie.
Go Panzers, I guess. Right?
Is that like a German tank? Wow.
Stop right there, Adam. Right? I don't
Hey,
go
so-
any further.
so-
Jesus.
So Josh, you and Reigns here, I got a lot in common. You guys are both super fans of Don Q, and you sell.
Facts. You in that same shit too, bro. What the fuck is you talking about?
Because they don't know you that well, Julio Iglesias. That's why I say you and Reigns.
Hey,
How
you
you fuck up royally like that?
fucking interviewing skills, man. You could say, yeah, so all three of us have that in common, Gene. God damn.
We're gonna edit all of this out.
Alienating us.
Hey, you know shit, man. That's what I do.
For sure. No, actually, I brought you on today so we can talk shit to these white boys and make them feel bad for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'm making white people feel like shit.
I
He said, "Howard-"
don't need any help from anybody to feel like shit on an ongoing basis. So I guess bring it on.
Yeah, you're married, right? So you get that all day.
No, leave that in there. That's funny as shit. You're married, right? So Josh, how you holding up through all of this bullshit?
Hey man, I'm just making it, man. I'm just trying to keep my brain busy, stay sharp, man. Fuck with the kids, try to work out when I can. Not drink all day, you know what I mean? Half of the day works, you know what I mean? Home projects, just trying to have some semblance of normal. Get outside when I can. Chicago, our weather ain't the best. So
Right.
when we get a warm day, I try to get outside. Just keep pushing, keep moving, man. Hosting happy hours on Instagram has been fun. Doing these in-home Zoom cocktail classes for people to keep a little bit of income in. It's been working, so I dig it. Our new normal is weird, but I'm starting to get used to it.
Yeah, that's what sucks, getting used to it.
Yeah, is there ever a point where you're like, oh, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go back to work.
I'm enjoying the shit out of being at home, man. Yeah. Like I'm thinking, like, damn, when we come out of this, like, how can I incorporate the shit we've been doing at home and not have to be behind the bar as much anymore? You know what I mean? Like, we go find a space and start teaching cocktail classes, or just doing something different. You know what I mean? Instead of just going and doing the regular hustling, bustling, and working 4 shifts a week and shit like that.
Right. Me too, man. Because I've been doing some of the Instagram happy hours and little things like that. And my wife, she was like, we should just be doing this all the time. But I'm like, how do you make that? Not if you can just be home with the kids and you want to kill each other sometimes. But it's amazing. We got to cherish this time.
Absolutely.
know?
Man. Absolutely.
Fuck that.
Wow.
I'm not cherishing this shit till I earn it. I ain't earned this shit. This is awful. This is not the way I want to spend quality time. I don't want to be forced to, which I love my wife and kids. I don't want to be forced to do this.
Disclaimer.
You know, I want to earn this. I want to work real hard at, at what I want to work at and come home and then sit my lazy ass down. I don't want to just be forced to be lazy or go to jail because I'm late, because I want to be out around people. Nope.
Well, no, I mean, that's now how life is, though. Like we get what we get, and it's just all how we look at it.
Right.
Got to be that voice of positivity for you. It's all how you look at it. Like
Fuck you, Reigns.
Like I hear this dog barking, and I'm like, oh, he's just saying hi. It's not annoying.
Every time we do a show, as soon as the show records,
Come on.
somebody needs Reigns' attention. Like, hey,
Yo, was that the dog? Was that the dog in the video that was humping the dog bed?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Engelbert
hey, look, JoJo
Humperdinck.
Shrunk.
Or we call him Sir
Quit yelling at that
Humperdinck.
boy. Josh, quit yelling at that little boy.
Whatever. Nah, man.
Yelling
Hey,
at him.
man,
I
look.
can tell. I
Look.
heard your voice get deep.
Yeah, fuck that. First of all, y'all already on fucking virtual learning, right? So you ain't gotta do shit but just knock the shit out. They fucking report cards come out today, and these motherfuckers got a D in physical education. I said, dog, you are not. This is my son. Like, I'm an athlete. You are not gonna make me feel like shit and get a D in fucking gym. No, you're not. So no, we're not watching TV. We're not doing Nintendo, Xbox, nothing.
Good man.
He got a virtual D in gym.
How the fuck do you get a? First of all, you're not even doing shit. Like, it was. I think the assignment was some stupid shit. Like, right now, who your favorite basketball players was or something. Like your favorite 3. This motherfucker 2. I was like, well, why you? Like, what you doing, man?
You know what he said? Because they never heard of you, Daddy.
That's funny.
I'm like, no, man. Like, chill out. They was like, yo, can we just go home tomorrow? I said, now y'all been trying to get to my house all week, and now y'all want to go back home to your mom's house? Nope. Go sit here and be miserable. Sit here and be miserable.
Hey, Adam. So speaking of being at home and grades, look at me. This is a good segue. My man, Josh, his son just got accepted to a historically black college.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Dope is that?
That is awesome.
Yeah. Central State Marauders, man. We playing football next year and everything there. So
Go Marauders.
Yeah, gonna be a good time.
Where's that? Where's it at?
Wilberforce, Ohio.
How far away is that?
From me, it's like maybe 6 hours, a 6-hour drive. It's right out. It's basically outside of. It's in between Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Oh,
What's
he
he-
gonna shoot
what-
himself.
What's he focusing on?
Social. Was it social science? Yeah,
Social
That's
science.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yo, I tell you what, like that's like the humanities or like the soft sciences, if you want to call it that. That's going to be a huge thing, I think, in the future. My wife is going to college. She went back to college, and she is majoring in sociology. And she was saying, I want to be a therapist. And there's going to be a huge demand for. I mean, there already was, I think, especially in our industry. But moving forward in the next several years, mental health and human support and things like that is going to be an invaluable field to be in. So hats off to your son, man. That is super dope.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's doing all right, man.
That is real dope.
And I tell you what, man, that is like super selfless. Like it's not, it's not like you're not going to become a millionaire doing that. You know what I mean? And so having that as your focus for what you want to do, that's, I don't know, that's huge, man. Like that kind of makes me tingle a little bit, like knowing that there's somebody out there, who's, 18, 19, something like that, and wants to do something for others as a career. Like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, he's exceeding all my expectations, so I'm happy. Like, we got him to 18. You know, he's going to school. He's doing shit I never did. So I'm satisfied. I feel like I told him like I think I'm more excited than he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right?
I didn't have that experience. You know what I mean?
Isn't that's the thing is you want your kids to do better or be better than you were and are. So that's like a huge proud papa moment right there, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you.
Only bad part is Cleveland sucks.
Yeah. Every time
Well, except the Browns are supposed to be good this year, so this is our year.
man. Long as Baker
Browns.
said they're gonna suck. Long as Baker said they're gonna suck.
Yeah, but Garrett is back.
Don't. Stop it.
Don't
You don't
stop.
watch football. Stop.
You just said Miles Garrett's coming back, and he's gonna be a beast. Listen, you just watch. The only games, not the only games, the main games that the Cleveland cares about are the ones against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's gonna fuck them up legally again. Yeah, this year. So, that feels good.
I mean, who the fuck chooses to be a Cleveland Browns fan?
Cleveland.
Odell Beckham Jr. chose to be a Cleveland Brown player, and he didn't leave after last year. He was like, "Yo, I want to be here. I want to make things happen." So, people are committing, man. You got players. You got solid players committing to want to be there.
This is the major difference between black and white folk right here. See, you didn't have a choice to be a Bears fan. You were born in that. See, this asshole over here decided, you know what? I live all the way out here, but I'm going to go ahead and root for the Cleveland Browns. Oh, and
that one?
No, this is Reigns. Reigns is over here.
No, if
Josh
you're going
is
to do
down
that, you have to use your hand, and you have to be able to see. Like, you can't do that. You know, like you can't.
Yeah,
you can't.
but this
you
is
can't do
Reigns.
the Michael J. Fox palsy thing. You have
Josh,
to make
point
sure.
to me.
Oh,
Josh, point to me.
ouch. Shake it up.
Josh,
Come
hey,
on.
Josh,
Don't say that. Every time you say
Yeah.
"shake it up," John Taffer has to give Michael J. Fox $1.
don't laugh at that, dog.
Fuck that. It was funny. Sorry.
It's corny as shit. When you see corny shit, you don't laugh at corny shit. Don't do that. Don't appease these guys. This is all I got here in Vegas. These are the blackest two dudes I can find. When Brown and Ballas rolls to Vegas, you got Adam O'Donnell and Adam Ray on the stick that night. You got Bernie Sanders loving the dudes on the stick ready to go.
Keep me and Bernie Sanders separate. I'm not trying to get into politics right now. No one is. Don't do that to us.
There is no politics here that we know about that's worth it. So who gives a shit?
Fair.
Who gives a shit? Politically speaking, we're still stuck in the house.
Right, man. Fuck the politics, man. Right, like these times are now. Like, remember when Biff was like the richest man in the world in Back to the Future 2?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Because
last night.
he's that's right.
Yeah, that's what the
Reason.
fuck. Right, what we live in. It feels like Biff is in the White House, man.
Exactly. He is.
Biff is in the
funny.
White House.
He stole the almanac, and so he
Yeah.
was able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a jerk! What a
The
jerk!
biggest
That's
dude,
what right now feels like.
king of the douches.
And his suit coats were
Exactly.
gross. Yeah.
Hey, Josh, tell everybody what Brown and Balance is all about, how you pivoted onto that IG Live platform.
So basically, man, Brown and Balance is super dope, man. In our industry, unfortunately, I didn't see enough people that look like us in position of where their voice was heard. I always joke in Vegas, it was you and Jackie Klein. Basically, it was just you. That's my guy. No, I love Jackie, man. But it was
Love you, Jackie.
I love Jackie Klein.
Yeah.
but it was like, when I started seeing like all these little bullshit Tails Awards and all these top 50 bars, all that goofball shit. Like, it was, everybody looked exactly the same. And I'm like, nah, there's a lot of dope people like us. And with that, unfortunately, the same 10, 15.
Hey, Josh, hold on. Josh, hold on. What the fuck is that?
The
Something
dogs?
We got a package, man. Stuff. What is it? The only little joys we get right now.
We're like, what is this beeping sound? And I'm Captain Nonchalant over here signing for fucking federal cocaine bags. All right.
Oh.
Trying to pretend, didn't excuse himself or nothing. Didn't put mute, just,
Yeah.
He's a multitasker. He must be in the food and beverage industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking rains.
Oh, man.
All right. So you said what again?
Yeah, so
About
I
not
was saying,
seeing
like,
Negros?
Yeah, I just kept seeing the same people, man. People mention me, people mention Vance, people mention Tiffany, like just the same people. And I'm like, there's a lot of really, really dope bartenders out there that, of color, not just black, but just of color in general, that got a voice, got influence, could really help the industry push forward as a whole. So I started working for Lush Life in 2017 and just was like, I got an idea to do a bar takeover. We're going to go into a bar that normally wouldn't hire someone that looked like me, and we're going to black the bar out. So we went to Holiday in New York, which had never had a black person behind the bar in the history of that bar. And there was 3 of us in one day. I had a black chef bring food in. We had a DJ. All we played was 90s hip-hop. We scared the shit out of everybody in New York at that time. And when that happened, I said, oh, shit, it's working. You know what I mean? So now, 3 years later, because of COVID, now we just had to move it into a virtual space where I'm just doing every day, just cocktails and conversation with black and brown and people of color bartenders to trying to get their stories out and just let the general market see what it's like. We don't have them cool ass stories of like being a life, like my grandfather owned the bar and my great grandma. I ain't got none of that shit. My great granddaddy didn't own shit. My daddy didn't own shit. I had to get off the block. I didn't want to sell drugs no more, so I became a bartender. And that's my story. So just to go
that's
to the beginning.
That's still a dope story though. I think hearing the same thing over and over again, where whatever bartender is steeped in tradition, where their grandfather or the great grandfather was a bootlegger, and somehow that gives them extra cred in the industry. I think a good story is a good story, no matter what it is and how it ties into where you are right now. So I would much rather hear stories from an ex-drug dealer than someone whose great grandfather was a bootlegger. You know what I mean? Like that sounds so much better.
Like Gene's story. Gene got, like, he was shaking ass cash. Like, that's the shit in the fucking world, right? Like,
I mean, first off, don't disrespect me. I wasn't shaking ass for cash. I was an entertainer. There's a difference. You need to understand, right?
Gene, let me ask you this though. Gene, how did you entertain? What is it you did to entertain? Shake ass.
I gave a little leg and I took it right back.
Like you're Marilyn Monroe or something? Like you're doing what was the song?
Yes, I was like, man. Everybody in our industry, like, man, like, I never, like, bartenders took all shapes, sizes, colors, all that, all my life. You know what I mean? And I was like, if you look at all these little stupid ass lists that come out every year, everybody looked exactly the same. It was a white dude with a bunch of tattoos and a handlebar mustache or a beard, some tight ass jeans, and some fucking suspenders. That's what they put out there. That's what a fucking bartender look like. And I'm like, nah. A bartender looks like anybody could do what we do. You know what I mean? With the right training and the right position. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to figure out a way. I just had to figure out a way to push it forward, kind of put my neck on the line for us, man. And it's working. And
so, Josh, let me ask you this. I'm sorry to step on you.
Good, bro.
But how much of it for you is showcasing people of color, and how much of it is showcasing outsiders? Because it doesn't necessarily have to, they're not mutually, they're not one and the same all the time.
So for me, it started off exclusively like showcasing people of color. Like it was literally like exclusively that. Like when I first started, it was like, I want to show that we have the service aspect down, we have the cocktail aspect down, and we can throw a fucking party and we can ring them registers, because everything at the end of the day is about volume and it's about putting money in that register. So we can do all of those things just as well, if not better, than the people that keep getting elevated into certain, in certain positions. So outsiders, I'm kind of moving into that now, but it's still a lot of work to be done just for people of color to really
Sure.
get that representation, you know what I'm saying, in the industry before we even start thinking about taking it past that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's super cool.
So
'cause I
no-
always think our industry is made for, like, personally, like none of us want to work in offices. Like we're not cut from the same, you could say, quote unquote, normal. Like
Right.
I'm definitely way different than a lot of my family. Like how are you focusing on like people of color? Like, are you just mainly trying to showcase them, or do you have any how is your exact plan, and like what are your bullet points to make it happen? Is it mainly like showcasing and just showing what you can do, or are there any other things to it?
Well, the first thing I do is, so when we do it, the first thing I do is I identify the person who needs that extra push, right? So like, let's just say when we do, because eventually we'll be able to travel again. Like when we come to Vegas, Gene gets grandfathered in because that's my friend, but I'm gonna go right to him and say, hey, I need to know who your reps are in Vegas, who you talk to. I need to get sponsorship first, and then also I need you to identify to me what bartenders of color that are super dope in your city that need that push, right? Because everybody knows Gene in Vegas, unfortunately. That's just what it is, right? So everybody knows him.
Good or
So
bad,
now
yeah.
it's like, but then that Jackie Klein or that next other person that's coming up that's watched Gene, unfortunately, again, and seen all the things he's done, and they've watched him and they're trying to get that self, or they might have done a couple competitions and it didn't work out for them, and they really want to get that pub and get out there. I'm going right to him to say, hey man, be an OG real quick, show me who I need to know, and that's who I want to focus on, and I want to put them right in front of these brands, right? Because the brands don't come to the neighborhoods that most of us live in, right? I live in Chicago, most segregated city in the world, right? So where I work, I ain't seen a brand rep ever. But where I work, most of the brand reps, that's who pays their bills, right? So I want to put that talent right in front of that brand so they can see like, yo, you have an untapped market. And again, everything's about the bottom line at the end of the day. And these people can help push your product to a level that if you don't want to come to those neighborhoods, they are entrenched and they're there. You know what I mean? And they're going to be the ones that's going to sell your product for you. I mean, it's a brand rep. I ain't going to say his name, but he works for a really, really, really major brand. And like we had a conversation and he was just like, what can I do, man? I said, quit fucking going downtown and on the north side. White people don't drink that shit like we do. Period. I know you don't want to come to the hood, but it's okay. I'll give you a pass. You come with me. Ain't nobody gonna touch you up when you with me. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, the guys that drink the product and the bartenders that push that product, if they see you, they're gonna go above and beyond because you're showing us that you care. And that's all.
Dope.
Like that's my thing. My whole strategy is take those that are less fortunate and don't have the opportunity because they don't work in the quote unquote cool bars and put them in front of the people that go to those cool bars and show, hey, we got it. Just come cultivate it. If you water a plant, it's gonna grow. You know what I mean?
I don't even think we have an area like that in Vegas where
I heard
we have
North
like
good though. That's what I heard, man. I know you
heard
probably
what?
either though, dog. So you know.
No, there's no reason to go out there. That's the only problem. There's not somebody cracking drinks out there. Dog.
The big divide in Las Vegas is not necessarily like neighborhoods. The big divide in Las Vegas is about gaming bars and non-gaming bars, and so it's just a little bit different. Like there's no neighborhood bar like in in the north side that acts as like a hub for the neighborhood. Las Vegas is just a weird beast all around, man, in so many ways, and that's like the
only local
bars,
hangout. I'm sorry. The only local hangout that we do have was Herbs, and I mean that still don't count. It was full of Mexicans. So, but you can't go to the west side of town and find like an equivalent of that, or even an equivalent of say a Death and Company. We don't have a couple of those offshoots because all of our bars in Vegas,
But it don't
you
even
can
have to
go in there.
be a bar though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even have to be a cocktail bar, right? Like, just a cool spot. Like here, right? So when you come to Chicago, you got all the cool spots downtown. You got Sable Kitchen and all those real cool James Beard bullshit, all that. You got all that cool shit down there, right? But if you come to Southside where I'm from, man, I can take you on the strip, 70-50. We call it State to the Lake. And we started State Street, which is basically the middle of the city. So State Street is where the red line is, and it runs literally through the middle of the city, separates east and west. So we started State, and I go all the way east to Lakefront. It's about 40, 45 bars that push a shit ton of product that I can guarantee that if I just polled 10 brand reps and asked them if they know the names of these bars and what that, they would have no idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm like, that's where Brown and Balance come in, because it's like, okay, now that I got your attention with the event, now I'm working on ways to say, all right, how can I do an event, but I'm gonna do it in the hood, and I'm gonna force the brand to come to the neighborhood, and while we have this event, you know what I mean? Because I know they're not gonna come on their own, right? Unfortunately, so since they won't do that, I'm trying to work a way to make them come to where we are and get some of that love and see it's not what you think, and see it's not bad, it's not none of the shit you think it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just unfamiliar.
Yeah, it's like, man, just step out your comfort zone, because guess what? Every day of my life, I have to step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury. If I wanted, when I was with the USBG, I don't know if you guys are USBG or nothing. I don't fuck with them no more. But when I was USBG, you know what I'm saying? I had to go to the north side and you know, places that, man, it took me 30, 45 minutes to get there because I just wanted that knowledge, right? And I'm like, well, I need you guys to kind of pay it forward and come back to where we are, because again, it's a lot of talent in hidden places in the cities, and that's in all cities, not just Chicago, everywhere.
Okay.
That
Yeah, you
is
hear
super
that,
dope.
Adam? He a mentor. Go over to North Las Vegas.
But see, Adam,
Me?
cool though. I thought Adam come kick it. You the only one scared to come to Chicago, Gene. So
I swear to God, I was coming on March 8th. I told you I had the ticket and everything. I was coming.
Did Gene send you a picture of the ticket?
not at
Or
all.
did he just say, yeah?
Nothing.
yeah,
I swear to God, I had it. I was
I'm trying to get
coming.
motherfucker to come to Chicago for 8 years. He still won't come.
Dude, let's go, man.
10 times.
Yo,
Chicago.
a good
It's a-
time is a good time. It doesn't matter where it is and what it looks like and like what, you know, how bright or dark it is or what they serve. Like a good
Yeah.
time is a good time, man.
Yeah. That's all it is.
It matters a little bit. It matters a little bit.
Hospitality.
I've
That's
been there.
hospitality, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man, you know, I hate to harp on it with a lot of people. I've said it a few times when we were doing the happy hours, like, man, you know, black folks, for the most part, I know there's been bad service, but it's bad service everywhere. But for the most part, it's inherently inside of us to be hospitable, because when we were brought over here, who were the chefs? Who were the servers? Who were the greeters? Who were the maids? It was us. So that's something generationally that's in us, to be hospitable and want to serve and take care of people.
What's going? Are there pots and pans somewhere in Reigns' front yard?
You motherfuckers is lousy. What is going on?
Oh,
Just... Hey, Reigns, there's a mute button on the screen.
I thought my whisper was a mute.
Up. Shut the fuck up. I never wanted you.
holy shit! Jesus.
How's the food, babe? All right, thumbs up.
Yeah.
So how's your mental health, man? How's your spirit right now?
Who you talking me?
Yeah, you the fucking guest, asshole.
Oh, nigga, I'm fucked up, but I've been fucked up for 40 years, so it's all good. I'm making it.
Don't believe none of this, because this rude motherfucker. We are now on Brown and Balance. It is gonna be cream and concise now. You fucked up. You know?
Cream and concise.
I hope to God that comes out.
Yo,
Oh.
that is a that's a great cocktail name. Or that's a great header for. Oh,
Yes.
that's a
Hey,
bunch of dessert cocktails right there.
Gold right there.
we gotta go be a character witness for Josh. He's shooting somebody.
Nah, I'm good. Hey man, if I ain't somebody yet, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna make it through this, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
think
so
your
you-
son wants to be a bartender? You think he would bartend a little bit?
Huh?
You think JoJo would bartend a little bit when he gets older?
My son, I don't know, man. I mean, I wouldn't discourage him from it. I would tell him not to make it a career choice if that's not what he really wants. You know what I'm saying? But if he hustling, shit, do what you do. Don't shake
Yeah.
ass for cash like your Uncle Gene, but you can bartend it.
Hey, you better shut the hell up. If he got to shake it, he got to shake it.
You know, don't go get your OnlyFans page or some shit like that. Don't be out here shaking ass at pole cat Uncle Gene.
See what your son on OnlyFans just cracking off?
Hey, man, shit, hey, you gotta get it how you live nowadays, man.
I can dig it. We should have did that a long time ago.
Man, you ain't lying, bro. But yeah, no,
But
we good.
Ginger-
I mean, but if he wanted to do it, I would definitely I support him. You know what I mean? I like, hey man, do that, make that money. You know what I mean?
You know, for a long time, Adam O'Donnell, for a long time, me and Josh would dare all of our white friends in other states. Tell me the top 5 black people in the bar industry you know right now, and they used to get so hot. Fuck you, bro. Said you know, because that's the point. You don't go to the hood.
All right. So then I'll throw it back at you, Gene. Name me the 5 top bartenders in the U.S. named Adam. I'll bet you can't name more than 2.
Oh, I can. I definitely can. There's,
They all worked at Gordon Ramsay Pub.
Right.
Oh, I
We had
forgot
like
about
seven Adams there.
I
One of
forgot
them at
about
least.
that. Yep.
One of them was the best bartender in Vegas that year.
yeah, and I went to
That guy.
And one of them got liposuction.
Jeez,
Wow.
That was yeah. Whatever. Moving on.
I'm sorry.
So-
I like this platform. It's dope. Talk
So, so I mean, I don't want to sour the mood a little bit, but I'm sure it's something that's been on, it's been on the news. I'm sure it's been on your mind, everyone's minds. You know, what happened in Georgia, where a jogger, it was a black guy, got shot by 2 fucking white dudes, and it's sickening, like takes your breath away. And I mean, but unfortunately it's not like it's like a new thing, but and I, you know, I'm sorry to, like I said, sorry to sour the mood, but we don't often have two men of color on the show. And I'd really like,
We always have you and Adam on. What are you talking about?
yeah,
There was
extremely concise.
I'm gonna jump on and just and like raise the mood before we get back into this. I remember there was a comedian that said, "Why in the world do people call us colored? You know, when I'm cold, I'm still black. And when a white person's cold, they turn blue. And when I'm in the sun, I don't turn red or brown, and white people do. I have no idea why anyone calls us colored when you're the people that turn different colors." And I thought that is hilarious. That is the funniest thing.
I like
Holy cow.
I like that. You want to take this one, Gene?
No.
No? Let me
No.
And we don't have to. We don't.
Get real quick, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I hate to say it like this, man. It's really fucked up that this is the mentality that we're in now, man. But I honestly, I'm not surprised anymore. You know what I mean? Even reeling off that, I just happened to look and see an article today of a kid who got shot by the police today.
Yeah. A 1-year-old kid, got shot Wednesday.
And the police were laughing. This motherfucker, they ain't found a gun yet. You know what I mean? And they tried to say he was armed, but stupid ass cops didn't turn their body cams off. You know what I mean? So honestly, man, like, black men been hunted and murdered since the beginning of time, dog. Like, it sucked, man. It hurts. And the scariest thing for me is every day when my kids walk out the house or when I walk out the house, because I don't know if we're gonna come back home. And I remember my parents talking to me about how to deal with the police when I was a kid, me and my brothers, and how we should deal with the police when we were kids. And the conversation I have with my kids is like the complete opposite, right? Like growing up, like I said, I'm 40, I'll be 41 next month. Growing up, it was, the police are your friend, and talk to the police, and, just give them what they ask for. And it's like nowadays, man, shit, you do all that and you still might get shot.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
mean, that's how I was taught.
I always made a joke that police, man, it's exactly true, man. Most of the dudes I know that are cops are straight pussy. You know what I'm saying? And when you get that badge and that gun, it gives them a level of power that they want to have over you. You know what I mean? And most of them take it too far. Like I can't keep saying like, well, they're good cops. Somebody told me that yesterday, but they are good cops. Well, then them motherfuckers need to tell on the bad cops. Because if you don't say shit, all you motherfuckers are bad. I look at everybody the same.
I was just having a discussion today when Matt B came over, and I said, why is it okay if I'm talking shit to a cop for him to slam my head on the car and tell me to shut the fuck up, and that's not assault? Like, why is that even necessary for him to make me stop talking by slamming my head into a car or a wall? Like, there is no precedent where that was ever necessary. And even I went further. I said, why is it okay for a judge to give you more time in jail because you pissed off that person? They now take the law as personal. I'm going to hold you contempt. You keep talking, I'm going to add another 30 days in jail. It's my freedom of speech to talk.
Yep.
Court's adjourned. Send me out my way. I can talk all the way to my cell or whatever. But why am I accruing more time because I'm pissing you off? Why is the law personal? Why are lawyers and judges using the law as their own, like it's in their vein, their DNA? That's not fair.
Yeah.
And I told you yesterday too, and I tell everybody, if we want to change the way you and I feel, being not surprised by another black man being shot down and people being nonchalant about it, we have to make sure our children, such as your son, become social science teachers to teach kids right from wrong at that early impressionable age. We need to make sure that when they are lawyers, they strive to, don't tap out at being a lawyer, tap out at being a judge that's becoming a policymaker.
Yeah.
That's where all that comes from.
And also, too, man, we need people, like you brothers that are allies, like we need people to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Like they hear from us all the time. You know what I mean? We've been saying this shit forever, but we need more people like you guys. And I'm not speaking to you two personally because I know y'all rock with us, y'all roll with us, we good. But there's a lot of people, especially in our industry, right? Like that's the thing I always get on. It's a motherfucker up in Seattle. You know what I mean? He's one of them pick me white boys that just, I'm an ally guy. Look at me. And I'm like, no, man, you need to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really, like, you're doing it for that reason. Gene had to talk me off the ledge from beating that motherfucker up a couple months ago. I'll let him tell that story in a minute. But we need more people in our industry to be allies and to really put their actions behind their words. Because, I always give the example of Michael Vick, right? By no means is dog fighting right. By no means is what was going on in his house right. But that man paid his debt to society, and he worked really hard to change the laws to help, because he didn't understand what dog fighting was. And when that man got named to be the AFC NFC coach, all the white people in our industry argued with me for 4-5 days about why this motherfucker didn't deserve it, right? So I'm like, okay, well, if you're that upset about a fucking dog, no disrespect to dog owners, I love dogs too. Why are you not as upset about another black person getting fucking killed on camera, unarmed, not just minding their goddamn business?
Hey, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
When you can be, or even better, Kobe died. Black men all over the world was pissed when Kobe died, hurt. Kobe's our age, so I basically grew up with Kobe.
Right.
He wasn't even in the ground yet, and it was white women in our industry crying in white woman tears and going off about how he's a rapist. No, he was accused. None of us were there. None of us know what happened or what didn't happen. It's a horrible thing to be accused of. Don't get me wrong. Horrible thing to be accused of, and it might have been some funny shit going on. But our hero was a little tarnished and he made a mistake, but case got thrown out and he spent the rest of his life championing women's rights. Why is it men that look like us don't get a second chance? Why is it men like us can get gunned down? And why is it there are some white people in this world that are more mad about some fucking dogs than they are about that? It's human rights at this point.
I don't agree with
That's hitting it. Nah.
You know what I mean? Like I tell people
Yeah.
all the time, I tell them all the time, like, man, look, I'm not a career bartender. I came off the block, man. Like, if some people knew some of the shit I did in my past before I came into this, they wouldn't love me either. But y'all love me because y'all don't know that about me. But if any of that shit ever came to light, or somebody started Googling and looking at my rap sheet and little shit I done done, you wouldn't like me either. You know what I mean?
Except for, but the funny part is, there's a whole bunch of cats in our game here that do things that you would be looked upon as a villain, but they do things now on behalf of, hey,
it's a whole.
We in New York for such and such. Who's holding
Nigga,
whoop?
It's a whole rapist in DC running around. Nigga got brand jobs and all type of shit. But we ain't gonna. But he, you know, he looked like another Biff. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody gonna. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. You know what I mean?
Stop it.
And you know who I'm talking about.
What you talking about?
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Here you go.
Hey, y'all let the wrong one on the motherfucking
Here
podcast.
you go. No, we did not.
And that motherfucker couldn't beat me up no way, so I don't mind saying it.
Adam Reed,
This
who's
is
he
the
talking about? I don't know who you're talking about.
Hey,
Oh,
this
people
is the
found me
actual-
out, man.
It's the actual show that these two always want to do right here. Some live shit.
Hey man, shit. That is the truth, man. It's just like I don't like double standards, man, and nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just flip it back on people. Okay, what if it was two black? What if it was me and Gene, and we hunted down a white boy that was jogging down the street?
And said citizens arrest.
Would it take 3 months for the video to come out? No, we'd be hanging for some trees. We'd be talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
well,
it's
the,
true.
the
Like,
problem the problem with this, hey, let's keep it a buck. I'm a fair spare kind of guy. If you tell me we got to follow the law, and there's no color to it, okay, I'm gonna follow the law. Make sure we all follow. But don't tell me that these two dudes can shoot somebody with a shotgun and not even spend the night in jail.
right.
The
Police
motherfucker
didn't
just
even
got
get
arrested
him.
today. That should happen in February, yo.
Hey, you're
And
telling me
happen
that
like
he's
3
good.
months all time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's insane.
What's up,
fucking
Adam?
insane.
Is there any truth? Is there any truth to the shooter was a retired policeman or a
Yeah, he
retired
was.
detective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's even more bonkers ridiculous. That's I don't know. That's embarrassing. You know, I don't know. That's so like that makes it even more fucked up.
No, I'm gonna
someone-
see something that's super fucked up. I just got a text
Yeah.
message from one of my homies. She just texted me. So the motherfucker who videotaped it, that wasn't like an innocent person videotaping. They're actually looking for that person that videotaped it because he's the third accomplice. He boxed the kid in. So basically, if you listen to the tape, you can hear him cocking his gun in the tape because if the kid was doubling back and coming back towards that car, he was gonna shoot him too. That wasn't like an innocent person that was just videotaping it for the hell of it.
Oh my
So-
god.
Whatever that is.
And then so even let's to take that into consideration. So LeBron James speaks out about that earlier today or yesterday. He had a little tweet out. And then another black man who is more dangerous than anything, and I'm not gonna say his name no more.
Chris
He
fucking
condemns-
Whitlock did that.
No, don't say his name. He don't deserve it.
Who?
He don't
I
deserve
don't
it.
even know who he is. Fuck him.
Who was
Jason
it?
Whitlock. Jason Whitlock. He's like the worst news reporter ever. He's just a big fat black hater. And that's no disrespect to fat people. It's disrespect to fat people that claim this troll as one of their own. This dude is awful. He's an awful human being. He's an awful, awful, awful human being. Like he disrespect Kobe his whole life and then try to act like Kobe was. He's an awful person. And they should pull him off of Fox Sports 1. But he condemned LeBron for saying, "Hey, we're hunted. Like we're hunted. We're literally hunted every day." And I don't think people understand what that really means. Like, no one will understand what it's like to when you see a cop to tense up automatically. It's like when you see a cat, how a cat gets alert. That's how black men and women feel on a regular basis. Like there's a dude that was in this bar industry that beat up a black woman. It was in New York, right?
No, Texas and Dallas.
In Texas, and then pulled a gun on her.
And I spoke out about it and damn near lost my job off of it.
Yep. Was putting hands on a black woman and then pulled a gun on her. And nobody wanted to speak out against that dude either. Like it's there's certain things where people have to understand enough is enough. Enough was a long time ago. Like this is commonplace and common sense. Like we're not black people, we're people. Like don't have to push us to the side like, well, we gotta help our black brothers and our black sisters. No, wrong is fucking wrong too. Wrong is fucking wrong too.
Sorry, my son Owen was over here. I was trying to get him on the in the frame and he ran off. Apologies.
You know, you gotta love it when someone speaks from the heart and you want to like your son. Tell him what you said. Say it again. You hate what? Well, for sure. That is definitely how we feel.
So listen, I mean, this is such like we're all in the bar business, and like this is bartending and bars and restaurants bring people together and they build teams, and I think that's it's brilliant that what you're trying to do and what you're doing is showcasing people of color and people that usually wouldn't get that, because it builds everybody up and it shows and it creates opportunities and avenues for people to be together that usually wouldn't be. Because there's nowhere I feel more safe and more welcome than in a bar. If it's if it's $100 a cocktail kind of bar, or if it's a beer and a shot for a nickel kind of bar, like those places are my safe space. And creating opportunities for everybody, anybody, all bartenders and everybody in this industry to feel like that can also be a safe space where like they can thrive and be a part of a team is kind of fucking dope, because that's why we're all in this. Like we're not in this to be millionaires, because I've been doing this a long time and I'm not a millionaire, but it's right. It's to belong, and it's to be a part of something bigger than yourself. So that's like for all the shit all the bad shit that happens and all the shit that you got to put up with, like I don't know, like we have bars and alcohol, and not in a way to like cry over, to share our sorrows, but to I don't know, build a community, and I like that more than anything.
Thank you.
I like the fact that I see Owen walking in the background like
before. Yeah.
Is he still back there?
He's like, I don't want to be on.
Owen,
did he really walk by?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
We're gonna do this because I think. Oops. I'm gonna see if I can get him to.
This is where you see your first ghost, Josh.
So I see my what? First ghost. It looks like
first
shit,
ghost.
It do look like that shit, dog.
See, this is what people do right here. Dumb shit like this.
All right. So, son of a bitch. Did you see?
All right, before we get off,
Josh,
what would you want to tell more people? What do you want to tell people about Brown and Balance?
Support it. Period. Just support it. Literally just support it. Like that's all we ask. Like I just want to see more people coming through and just having the experience, right? Like that's what we do at bars. We create experiences. So I just want people to come through and just enjoy themselves and just see something different.
Have you guys started working on an educational point or a mentorship aspect of Brown and Balance yet?
It's coming. I've been actually working on that shit day and night, man, for the last couple of weeks. Now, once I saw that, the interviewing and the cocktails and conversations kind of taking off, ours was a dope conversation, you know what I mean? And now they're starting to grow. Now I'm working on like what's next, right? So let me move it, into mentorship. Let me get this. Let's do like how Camp Run Amok has a week, but let's do like a Brown and Balance weekend. You know what I mean?
Okay, and what would be the criteria that how Brown and Or how not brown do you have to be? Are we
Oh, no,
Cambodian? Is that brown? Is
Hey, first of all, it's gonna be segregated. It's us. It's gonna be us, dog. Like
blue, black, and that's it.
it's us, man. But just to have but kind of like like how Ashton does Resistance Serve down in New Orleans, right? Which is a super dope program that she put together. But I really want to start with one for like a run-em-up kind of thing. But maybe for a weekend, we pull up, we get to a city, and we just have time to talk, fellowship, get to know each other better. And all of us got really, really dope ideas. And let's start putting our pen to paper and getting that shit out there and figuring out, what we can do. Because if we come together, ain't nobody can really fuck with all of us. We all too dope and too smart and too talented. You know what I'm saying? For us to keep doing the rat race we doing, let's quit trying to be in the main in the general market and create our own shit and let everybody catch up, right? Hip hop is the most imitated genre out there, right? Hip hop runs the fucking world. Fashion, music, everything. It's like Paul Mooney said, everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Justin Bieber run around looking like one of the Migos. He look like a light-skinned Migo. That's just what it is. Like, everybody wants to do and be a part of what we got. So let's figure out a way.
Right. White boy.
Same thing. You know what I mean?
Get your shit together, white boy. Your time is up.
Just ask Elvis.
Hold on.
He did the same shit.
Meanwhile, Gene is living the life of all our ancestors because he got a white wife. So,
I think they trust me this year.
All our grandfathers would come back and look at Gene like, God damn, nigga, you made it. Shit. Look at the white woman back in the 50s. You married one.
You don't listen to smack it
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, on behalf of Battleborn Management, representing Starboard Tack and Hardway 8, I want to thank our guest today, Mr. Josh Davis Brown, to balance himself. Give him a nice round of applause for jumping on. When you come back to Vegas, we got to get you in the studio. Hopefully, we'll get you here permanently, too. I'm Gene.
Permanent's coming.
I hope so. I'm Gene. That's Adam, and that's also Adam. We are the Fabulous Wickedino Brothers. Adam,
before you go, man. Hey, Adam, I'm really glad to find out. I thought you was Valerie's brother when I first met you, dog. I ain't know.
Yes, he did.
Hey, man, welcome to my world. Man, all white people looking like to me. I'm sorry. Welcome to my world, dog.
Hey,
Listen,
Valerie's brother was grabbing the ticket, did he? I said, who's Valerie's brother? He's Valerie's brother. It's not my brother-in-law.
Brother.
I said, no, man, that's Adam.
That's awesome.
what are you gonna do? A white guy with beard and glasses. Like, there's 10,000 of us. Like, yeah, we're not that unique.
I'm more than 10,000. You look like the bartender we're talking about.
Right on.
No, man.
Have a good night. Peace.
Hey, Josh. Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot you a
Josh.
prayer request, bro.
Do that. Shoot him one. Both of them.
Adios.
Hasta, gentlemen.